see, the community really doesn't stand to benefit anything, except for, I guess, profit for HECO. I don't see any of our electric bills being reduced in any way, and looking at the power line as being a hazard. I'm concerned about EMF, electromagnetic frequency. Maybe our children or residents nearby might get leukemia or some kind of other diseases. So I have concerns about that. I think that should be addressed. And also, I think our kids in Waianae, they need better opportunities for education. I look towards higher education. I volunteer at times. I work in the Waianae Academy to work with the kids to try to inspire them and enhance their lives. I think we should keep the land that is close to Waianae Academy for expansion of the school and also ag, but I would like to suggest that we look at, you folks actually look at the old Waianae town, which actually you cannot really build on it, so that land is really only good for parks or maybe not even that, because of whatever, I guess, potholes or whatever you can find. So, because of all the trash when it decomposes, breaks down, so it's really not desirable to build anything on it. So maybe suggest that if you're going to do any paneling, it should be over there, but it also should be ran past the community from Honolulu all the way to Makaha, so that it will be fair for our community, our citizens in our community to have input.
Thank you. Anyone else?
There's some stuff well, my name is Waianae Rising Sun. There's some information here about electromagnetic radiation. Some people are sensitive to electromagnetic radiation, and this is called electromagnetic.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay, some people are sensitive to electromagnetic radiation. This is a condition called electromagnetic hypersensitivity. People who suffer from it they get sick. They are exposed to very small amounts from devices like cell phones or computers. Television sets, solar system, process high levels of these radiations cause people with the condition to persistently suffer headaches, insomnia, heat, dizziness, nausea, heart palpitation, or digestive disturbances. They can also develop dermatologic conditions, skin conditions, redness, and burning sensations. Silicon dust. Solar panels are made out of silicon. If people inhale silicon dust over long periods of time, they can develop a disease called silicosis. This happens because silicon dust damages lung tissue, making lung capacity smaller and breathing. Breathing the disease develops very slowly, and there is no known treatment for it yet. And it's just all good, you know what I mean? It just really means things. These are facts. Okay? The U.S. Energy Information Administration states that large solar thermal power plants will harm the environment and ecology if they are not managed properly. Such animals, such as insects and birds, may die, and if they fly over that an area that contains concentrated beam of sunlight coming from the solar power. Some thermal power plants require the use of hazardous fluids to transfer heat. These fluids require proper handling and safe exposure. Photovoltaic cells convert sunlight into electricity. The manufacturing process may involve toxic chemicals, solvents, alcohol, and strong acids and bases. These substances are harmless if safely contained and not released to the environment. But they may pose health risks in proper handling and storage. Cost and efficiency. Solar energy can be costly. Although the sun is a free source of energy, the technology needed to develop solar energy is extremely expensive. Manufacturing solar power panels requires expensive materials. Also, solar radiation can be efficiently absorbed only during the daytime. The demand for the energy generated is continuing day and night. I just think myself, for my community, and for my teachers, I said, no, I mean, I like to live, you know, I like my bloodline go on. I like my kids have a future. You guys only worrying about money. Why do people lying? What does it matter? I don't know. I mean, I like kind of go back to the old ways. I mean, I'm not a millionaire, but it's going to affect my family and my future. All my life. We all know what these things. That's just how I feel. And I'm pretty sure everybody else feels stupid too if they didn't talk information. And this is no sneaky thing here today, see, right? They should just roll this on a white. How come not everybody here? Y'all at work, y'all in traffic. Y'all working yourself home. I don't know, you know what I mean? But this is sneaky, man. This is a sneaky thing you guys do. Shame on you guys. But yeah, God bless you all.
Would you please identify yourself?
My name is Tiari Silimadoman. Many here. I grew up in this community. I know a lot of us are here because of the solar plant. I know we're not addressing that today, but bringing up the lines, it's going to be crossing over the highway. So with that being said, if it has to go up, I think we should propose it going underground rather than it going above ground. If anything was to happen, there's only one way in, one way out. You know, and people will get stuck if the line were to come down or anything like that. People will be stuck on one side, stuck on the other. You know, we have families to go back and forth too. There's no other route for us to get around that. So I would like to say more about the plant, but obviously we're out here for the wrong reason. This is just a cable line, but that's what I do.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, Hawaiian Electric is open. Oh, can you please identify yourself?
My name is Kimmy Simpson. I'm disappointed by the process. You know, the community didn't have an opportunity to know what exactly is going on, what's going to be talked about, when to come, and it looks shady. You know, the communities have an opportunity to weigh in. How do you expect us to trust you folks? And on this community, we've already got the junk end of the stick over and over again. You folks at HECO, you guys come out here often. Like, was there another place to have this project? If it's so awesome, how come we block out, right? If it's so awesome, because we normally don't block out. So, is there somewhere else? How come it's over here? And again, the process, you want to engage the community? I don't think so. You held them at 3:30. You guys all on the clock, right? All these guys have to get off the clock or was off today. Not fair, not pono. The process is peeled out, it's not right. Furthermore, you're holding them at 3:30 in the afternoon on our school campus. Our BBs utilize the campus. There's after-school programming for our BBs, and we're holding a meeting over here. Who knows what kind of people would come to this meeting, the danger of our babies. Clearly, we're not priority, our babies are not priority, and the whole idea about Kamaile and all that other stuff, whether they graduated 12 people or not, we don't have a lot of educational opportunities on this coast for our babies. And Kamaile is another one of those educational opportunities. Plenty private schools, plenty great schools everywhere else except down here. So Kamaile is wanting to expand and things like that. We're not even gonna give them a chance. So, I mean, again, I totally oppose it, and the process you guys use, very uncool, pilau, not kono, whatever, you need to understand that the process was not cool. Shady.
Thank you. Luella Leonardi.
Aloha everyone. I just got here and I had to run, pick up the camera, get here, so that our people can see what's going on here. I just want to let you all know that we were in this cafeteria in 2008. What were we doing? Sustainability. We were all in different little pockets here talking about sustainability. That's the bottom line, that's the context here, sustainability. Well, my sustainability is Aloha Aina. It's always been Aloha Aina since 1978, when we first came up with that concept that our ancestors lived by, that we we somehow, in 1978, had forgotten and remembered. We brought that back to our minds, our spirit, and our people. And we've been talking about aloha aina, malama aina, malama everyone. God, talk about good neighbor. We're the good neighbor. We're the fine kanaka maoli. I'm a Hawaiian homesteader today, and I also grew up in a Hawaiian homestead. I know what aloha aina is. I know what it is to grow up in a community where only Hawaiians live. I know how to take care of Hawaiians, the aina, and people who come to our island and make this their state. Mr. Wong, I also went to Kaneohe with you, and I sat in the room with our sustainability plan. I just wanted to share that with you, that I was in the room all day, and we talk about your pigs, and how we can aloha the pigs as well as be sustainable with the pigs. That's important. That information that we did workshop all day, that's important. That should be on our frontal lobe. Don Chang, sitting next to Mr. Wong. And you took us through. You raked us over the coals the whole summer. Statewide, Don Chang. And you're still doing it. And that's why you're here. I know the relationship between the two of you. And it's unfair that a lot of people in here don't know that yet. But they will know. That's why they're here. I'm Oli Don Chang. You're going from the top of our pool all the way out to our ocean, Don Chang. You rewriting everybody's testimony tonight, Don Chang. You know that's your expertise. I am from Save the Surf time, when John Kelly was sitting in this room. When John Kelly went out and organized the whole community to stop the desecration of Kahe Point. And Mr. Wong, I am from Hawaii Kai. Okay? My parents and my grandparents were pig farmers. So I understand pig farming. I understand sustainability. I'm here tonight with that clarity and that integrity. Tonight, that's not the direction we're going. Our heao, Emil, we have to argue about the cables coming in. And secondly, I attended all, and you know that too, Don Chang, because you were the moderator. I attended all Fed meetings. So did Henry. We were in the meeting all by ourselves, myself, Henry, and Kat. Because Don, you switched putting money in your pocket. You remember, and you remember that clearly. You need to tell Mr. Wong what you did to us. You raped us. You put guns to our head. Statewide, children, guns to their head. That's why I'm here tonight, Don. I'm not here because we're going to peel out the air just because we don't have air rights. Because I cannot talk Shaw or any of the Hawaiian homesteaders into owning their air. That process is ongoing, and someday they would want to own their air. We deserve that. All the winds, the 30 winds that circle around here is our winds. You know why it's our winds? Because our kupunas named it. They know the name. They know which wind. They have a name for each wind. And here I walk into this room and I see you two sitting there. You know what Don Chang did? She came to Hawaiian Homestead in Waianae. She brought up her solar, her pictures, and then she looked at me square in the eye and said, you Hawaiian homesteaders are not going to benefit from that. 1992, I went to Palm Springs. I went there to go up to San Jacinto, to go up on a tram because it was a new thing. And I also went there to aloha all the Native Americans there. I looked to my left and I saw these contraptions, all these windmills. I was going, what in the world is that? 1992. And here, this is what's happening. We're putting the lines to put those windmills, geothermal. We're putting those lines, those specific lines that you're talking about, Mr. Iwasi, for all the concrete bunkers they want to put out in our ocean off of Kahea, the windmills they want to put off of Kahea, the solar panels, which will be obsolete in 20 years, by the way. Where are they going to put it? Oh, I was told that you can chop it up, put it in concrete, and put it in our ocean.
Toxic.
That's what I was told. This is crazy. I attended all the Department of Energy meetings on Oahu. If I had the money and the time, I would have caught the plane, gone to Molokai, gone to Lanai, gone to Big Island, or Moko of Keawe. But instead, I just attended all the meetings here. At this meeting, two things I asked. One, are we the stakeholders? Are we the stakeholders? Or is it La Jolla, California? Or is it Florida? Are we the stakeholders? And that was the question that was left open. The other thing that we all, those of us who went to Kawananakua School, we asked that all solar panels be put on top of the building, not on our INA, not on our so-called agriculture. We asked that it be put on a building. This is Pacific Island. This is not the continent. This is not Palm Spring Desert. We only have small INA here. We have plenty of children coming about, exponentially growing, 1.4 million. Where are children going to be in the future, in the near future? Are they going to be floating out there on ships because no more INA? Is this what we're asking for? This needs to be stopped today, right now, 4:15. And you need to have the cajoles or whatever it takes to stop this. Now remember, I was here in this room in 2008 talking about sustainability. And I attended the Department of Energy, which came out of Kirkland Air Force Base, by the way, EIS 459, I think, 0459. Look it up, everyone. And listen to how our people voice their voice. And read all the things that they were asking us. And remember, you're the stakeholders. Our future generation is the stakeholders. Today, you can go on the internet and you can take a look at that windmill and you can see only now, 1992, 2015, only now the Native Americans are participating. Other than that, they were living in a desert. And the reason why I went to go visit them, because I was told by the students at Cal Poly Pomona, which is the college I was attending, that they were very, very poor and not doing well because they had no energy. But Palm Springs did. And that's the comparison. Did I raise this at our energy meeting? Yes, I did at McKinley. And again at Kaneohe. And again at Kaneohe. We had many meetings, people. Don Chang, no, because she was the moderator. And then she quit in the middle of it to fill a pocket. You know that, right, John? Be honest, yeah? That's all I'm asking, clarity tonight. Where are we going? This is not 30%, 70%, which is the other federal situation. Let me tell you about that other federal situation from mountain to sea, out to the sea, with Hawaiian homesteaders. The Hawaiian Homestead Act is attached to the Organic Act. The Organic Act is the prize tonight. Will I give Don Chang or any of you the right to rewrite the Organic Act? Apole. Hands off the Organic Act. You are not rewriting it, and neither is Michael Migliori. Because I'm going after him so much as to touch that Organic Act. That Organic Act is for us to change. Not for Michael Migliori from New Hampshire. Those of us who are homesteaders, we go directly to Congress if you want to change. We do not go around to the DOI and give all our park, all our things, all everything, all our resources to everybody on the DOI list, and then we get to Congress when they're all done with their policy. No, 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 no. Hawaiian homesteaders, you all have direct to Congress. You don't need to go all around the DOI. So that Organic Act is off limits. I mean it, Mr. Iwasi. You know what I'm talking about. That's right. That's the prize tonight, people. Hands off. Don't let me come up here again, because the next time I come up here again, you touch that Organic Act, I promise you, we will rise up. Because we got our backs are up against the wall, we got nowhere else to go. Coming to this ahopua, from mountain to sea, Hawaiian homestay. Hands off the Organic Act. Don.
Thank you. Johnny Meyer Perry. Did I pronounce your name?
Hello,
Yeah.
it's Johnny May L. Perry, Chair of Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board. Mr. Wasi, I'm not sure if you got confirmed by the Senate, but I made big stink. You know why I make big stink? 3:30, the project Waianae. So I make big stink with the senators, okay? Because you're going to be supposedly confirmed. But that something needs to be changed. The project is not in this community, it's in Waianae. That's where this meeting should be held. 3:30, I get off at 3:30. I'm coming from town, not Pono, Mr. Wasi. There's some internal changes that need to happen. Not Pono. NextEra, the Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board supported the project. You can find the minutes online for 75 acres. I understand Mr. Wong may extend. I don't know what the procedures about that, but we only approved 75 acres. Dawn, I want to recognize Dawn. She has been upfront with us from day one. It was only her that sent me this notice. She was the only one that sent me the notice. Not you, Mitch. You didn't send me anything about this. And I've been working with you to come back to the neighborhood board, and you have not yet. So, The publication in the newspaper cost about $5,000. And I tried to stop it before it went out. So if you're here because of Senator Shimabukur or Representative Jordan, I told them at our meeting, you need to blast it out because PUC refused to retract the notification. Okay? So if they did things right, then they didn't have to pay $5,000. If they did things right, I also offered the district park and was told, oh, that's not a school. All we're asking is to be fair. Don't undermine this community or any community to make it convenient for you guys. That's not right. You're not going to come out with spiritual. I don't know what the heck you didn't hold it in Waianae. Okay, because they've been coming to us, but the community needs to hear. And for the most part, if you don't live in the community, guess what? They're going to say yes. And the people that directly impacted will have something to say. And what's wrong with that? If you want citizen participation, what's wrong with that? Okay, and Uris, the Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board has never taken a position. Never. They delay, I request to come back, update, nothing. What they have not shared with us, even NextEra, the transmission lines that gonna come onto Farrington Highway. They never had, Mitch, you have never showed us a valid presentation of what the project would look like. You never showed us the transmission lines coming out from their property from the back. Okay, so on behalf of the Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board, we are not supporting your project. Thank you, Mr. Wasi, and hopefully you make the change because I will mix things again. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Alice Greenwood.
Sorry, the mother didn't work till 4:30, so I lost the babysit and to come here and testify, which is really something because I cannot really state what I really want to state because my concentration is on my great-grandchildren. Now, what I was upset about is not only the time frame, but the idea there were two poses. All I knew was one. And all of a sudden I get a call and says, no, there's two. When I went to the Waianae Neighborhood Board, I was very upset with Uterus because the property abuts our water. And in order for those, when you have panels, to secure it, it's going to be, what, 6 to 7 feet. You're already hitting water table. Another thing I was very upset about is because we have children in the area. When you go up to Waianae Valley, there's a makeshift that didn't pass the neighborhood board. Nobody knew about it, they just put it right up. You're going to see on the side, on the fence, danger. Our schools, that school, all of our children don't know how to read. And you know what? The term maha'oi, I don't blame our children. They want to know why you cannot go inside that fence. In fact, why do you have a fence over there? We don't used to go in there. And that's what our children's going to be thinking. Now, all of a sudden, we have these signs and everything. How secure is it for our children? That's my problem right now. How secure is it for my children? I also ask, if we have a hurricane, what's going to happen to those panels? Do they become divers? And if our children, there's by some job, there's a school, progress and then there's a hurricane coming, how do we protect those children? Remember, you don't even have that elementary school, you have the intermediate and the high school. So you talk about children in the intermediate and high school. More so, when you say danger, the more so going inside, I don't know, like danger. They seem to haven't learned the word. When they said 2 poles, I oppose it for that reasons. Because it's too close to people, housing projects in that area. It's too very, very close to that. The watershed, the schools, and then to have these lines. We all know, yeah, when the hurricane winds come, it does not stop the electricity. You still get service. How do you stop it? And then after 20 years, they turn around and say, oh, we're gonna turn around, clean up the whole place, and they leave it as it is. What about all the contaminated materials you will put inside? What about, I asked PPG, are you guys going to handle the panels when everything is finished? They said no. Is there any mechanism for the panels to go to after everything is finished, after 20 years? No. So what you guys going to do? Wait for the last minute and turn around and put us taxpayers having to fit the bill. To foot the bill. They say, oh, our electricity is going to be cheaper. Honestly, out of all these years, HECO's CEO made $8 million. What happened to my $8 million? Really? You know, I really supported Mr. Wall. I supported him because where the design and the area was at, and I was thinking, it's a very secure place. It doesn't have the neighbors to worry about. But my biggest concern was, how was you going to get the electricity to that home? And that is my biggest concern today. How are you going to get that electricity to that home? And how are you going to secure our community surrounds that area, ensure that no one will be hurt by it. Gee, thank you so much for coming. Now do something about that Waianae Valley one, yeah?
Thank you. Valerie Manoa.
Hello, Council. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm standing here and I'm sorry, I am an educator. And thank you to my sister over there. Yes, I had to close my classroom today and tell my keiki, kalamai, no tutoring today because I needed to come back to where I live in Nanakuli and I work out at Kamaye. They were very disappointed that they weren't able to do their homework today because we needed to come to this early meeting. And they lost out today. They're very sad, so they're begging to come back tomorrow just to do their homework. Yeah. What I want to share today is our connectedness to the land. Yeah. I am so glad that you look at our land as being very valuable, because it is very valuable to us. My feeling inside though is let's use the land the way that it should be used so it can give us and we give back to the land. What I see is the land being taken from us and being used for other purposes. Yes, I live in this community, Nanakuli Homestead, and I will voice that same concern. Why was this meeting not out at Waianae? Not that we don't want, or we don't have the same concerns as our Waianae Ohana, but Aole Pono. You're not giving the people the opportunity to speak. How many people, and you know, our people do work, and they work in town. They get the opportunity to be sitting in traffic right now from 3:30 to 7 o'clock, coming from town, hitting the non-coolie traffic just to get to their home out in Waianae, to provide for their family. If you truly wanted to hear the voice of the people, you're in the wrong place. And I'm not pushing our Waianae people away. Our meeting needs to be where it should be. Like when you folks have meetings, I hope I'm talking to the right people. If not, I'll talk to my Ohana on this side. If you want to talk, when you guys have meetings, what do? Kuka, yeah? You talk to the other company, oh, what time is good? Oh, sound good. Oh, let's make a dinner meeting. Because I know about those things too. Oh, yeah, fine. Yeah, let's go meet at the dinner meeting. Let's talk, make exchange, and then finalize the deal. When will our Waianae Ohana have that opportunity to kuka with you? Truly. We stand here to support our Ohana out there. This is not Pono. And I'm sure if you had contracts, oh wait, step back. The contracts that you have, and you were to do anything to step out of line, those contracts would be broken. Shut down. You are not hearing the voice of the people you should be hearing. I support my family, my Ohana out on the Waianae coast. To me, they're crying right now. They're in traffic. They're trying to get their kids from A+. This is not an appropriate time for them. And, Kalamai, my ignorance, I don't know how many meetings you had, but you gotta have it more than one night. Our families, they have to work paycheck to paycheck. So sometimes they cannot get off the one night that there's a hearing. You have to look at the people, not the projects you're putting in. I appreciate that we're trying to look at other ways to provide for my home, all of our homes. And I'm really trying not to get off as being a mean person right now. But it does anger me. That, again, I always tell my friends, history repeats itself every day for the Hawaiian people. The land gets taken away, and nothing is in return. What is aloha? We don't expect anything, truly. But maybe a little respect, a little understanding. And if we even got that, who would care about the cost of the electricity? But now that cost matters because there was no aloha given back to us. I don't even know in Kalamai for our neighborhood board on the Waianae coast, and if I'm speaking out of turn, sorry, but I'm just gonna say it. I don't even know if you took the opportunity to speak at the board, and if you did, my kai, aka, how often? Enough to really find out about the people there. We have the largest Hawaiian population in the state of Hawaii. The land is important to us, even when there's nothing on it. The beauty of the land gives us something back. Just because the land is empty doesn't mean we have to put something on it. Now, and I don't mean to be mean, but that's just what it is. And again, history repeating ourselves because you come from your culture of understanding. I'm trying to share with you my culture of understanding. I would rather see that blank line out there and be able to look out and appreciate what Akua gave to us in that land. And if you can find in yourself to go look into your heritage, find out where your people are from. And you need to be grounded in something. Because I tell you, being grounded in just kala, the money, is only going to make you happy for a little bit. When you have the land to look at, that sustains you longer. Sustainability is working the land so that we give to it and it gives back to us. Sustainability is not taking from the land for what we want. So I'm just sharing with you my deepest feelings. I just brought up the thing about me being a teacher, but I'm a Hawaiian first. And with all the land that we have in Hawaii, see how much land the Hawaiian people have. So when you make your decisions, or you make your plans, make friends with Hawaiian people. You become a better person and understand the culture. And that's all I want to say. Mahalo.
Thank you. Before we go on, let me say this. I've been on this job now for 2.5 weeks. And when I saw the notice of hearing, the time, and was told this is in Nanakuri, not Waianae, I could hear my good friend John DeSoto tell me, Iwasa, you in trouble. And but we had published a notice of hearing. It cost the state $5,000. And we are proceeding with the hearing. Now, what I did tell in response to the inquiries from the Senate, and you did your job well, I don't know where she is. If we came out here on this issue, and if we determined, after hearing the crowd, that there was a need for a second hearing, we would do so. Before I go on that, let me add this. The setting of this hearing, the time and the place, was the PUC's. Please do not direct your anger at Hawaiian Electric. They had nothing to do with the 3:30 hearing, and they had nothing to do with the Nai Kapona. We had a staff person do it. She pursued it. She even looked in the phone book. She was not familiar with the area. She even looked in the phone book and saw Waianae. Okay?
She's not a
Obviously, that
scapegoat.
was a mistake.
She's not a scapegoat, so don't
No,
use her as
she's not a
a scapegoat.
scapegoat. And I've told her that. If there's a scapegoat, it's me. Now, please do not blame Hawaiian Electric. It is the PUC. I have talked to my colleague here, Commissioner Akiba. We would schedule a second hearing in Waianae. In Waianae. We will do so at 6 p.m. or sometime thereabout. Understand that we have a process we have to follow. We have to publish notice. So the hearing is not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be a week from now. It's going to be a little longer than that. Now, for those of you who have come here today, you help us. I understand, I've heard that people say, oh, we didn't know what this hearing was about. You know what the hearing is about today. You know it's not about the solar facility. You know it's about the KB line. That is the only issue before the PUC. And that is what we hope the testimony will be about. We are not talking about the solar farm. Either NextEra's or the other group. We are talking about the KB line. So if you want, and in fact, it was the specificity of the issue was in the hearing notice itself that was published. That'll be the same hearing notice that'll be published again. So the next time, when we come back to Waianae, and we hold a public hearing, understand that it is about the 46 kV sub-transmission line, and any comments you have related to that. At the conclusion of this hearing, I think you can ask Hawaiian Electric questions. They will tell you that there are other government agencies that may be involved or will be involved for approvals of the solar farm or the solar facility. It is not the PUC. The deep feelings you expressed tonight, or today, about the land, about this area, about the unfairness you believe has occurred in this area. And again, my good friend John DeSoto and his mother, the late Frenchie, taught me a whole lot about that. So I sympathize with you. But that is for another agency, another hearing, another place. It's not that we don't want to hear it. It's that it doesn't help us make a decision on the KV lines. So having said that, be on the lookout for another public notice, and we'll see where we go from there. Again, any anger, if there is any, I hope you let it all out by now. But any anger on the hearing notice, please direct it towards us or me, PUC Chair. We'll go on now with the hearing. Edmund Guevara.
Hello everybody, my name is Edmund Guevara. I'm a PR candidate at UH. One issue I would like to address is presentation. Looking at this board, I see a road that's empty. I see sections, I see a site plan. In your presentation, you do not show the negative impact of what this could do. Looking at this Google image, you guys went on Google and took this image. You didn't have the courtesy to drive out there yourself and actually build a site and do it and take the picture yourself. You should have photoshopped that out. I'm a resident of Honolulu, but I live out in Hawaii. From my point to get out of Honolulu at 6 o'clock in the morning takes an hour. Does anybody live on the Waianae side? Except for you guys. Now, to beat that traffic, we have to leave extra early. Even so, we're sitting in traffic due to the things that are going on in Honolulu, is traffic work. So if you do this, have you guys thought about a mitigation plan for traffic? And people in Waianae or Macau have to spend an hour in traffic here, hour in traffic in Honolulu. Now we get out the Waianae Moku, we got to beat the town traffic from Kapolei all the way to Pearl City, and then get through there and then fight Middle Street traffic. We're going to UAE for 8 years, and that traffic sucks. Excuse me, we can't, I know we're not supposed to talk about the other thing, but it's like, it's enabling. You're enabling. Drugs is really bad on this side. And I'm not going to give a drug user ice and say, hold on to it, and maybe later we'll do something with it. I'll come back and grab it. You build this, you're enabling the PV panel farms. So you can't talk about one thing and not talk about the other. When you look at this, you got to look at the context. The context means what's around it. The people, the structures, traffic, pollution, noise. I'm pretty sure none of you guys live out there, so you don't understand what it is to drive in this traffic and try to get to 8 plus by 5 o'clock to pick up your son. If not, you're in trouble. It's hard. I drive down traffic every day. It sucks. If you walk on this coast, you're not rich. Gas is down mountain. But hey, I spend a lot of money on gas and fixing my car. You know, I fix the car by myself. I don't take to a shop. I can't afford a shop. You know, so in regards to this, we need to think about traffic, what it will do to the people that needs to get to work. We can't leave 4:30 in the morning because we can't drop our kiki off at the school at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna watch it. So when you think about these kind of things, you gotta think about the lifestyle of these people that live here. And I'm glad it did not get point today because I would have shown up. So support all you guys. Mahalo.
Thank you. Anyone else? Quentin, you had a question for Hawaiian Electric?
You know, when I came up here, a lot of you folks weren't here, so my name is Quentin Kelso. The last 29 years I lived in IAM. I was born and raised in Waianae Valley. My playground was over here on Watch Street, an old Hawaiian church down Waianae Valley Road. And the Hawaiian church gone now, yeah? My ancestors, and I call them ancestors because they all gone. My cousins, they're all scattered. Okay? But I never forgot the neighborhood, never forget people, never forget the land. Okay? I know there's plenty of tension and action out here, so I'm kind of nervous too, yeah? So, Mr. Chairman, in regards to the questions, I can ask Hawaiian Electric only questions in regard to the 46 and then nothing else. Is that correct?
That's what they're here for.
Okay. So, once again, in the docket, they said, did you see that in the docket, page 37, Exhibit 3, comply with order number 32264, condition 4, regarding how this circuit, this line, will impact the grid. Because downtown, all of the homeowners with rooftop solars, Hawaiian Electric have made statements saying, oh, the grid will be at risk. So in regards to the word, this document, you find on page 37, 2014-0308. Have you folks replied? Because I know this document was applied when you weren't here. Ms. Morita was here. So did you folks fulfill condition 4? Yea or nay? Okay, you can get on. Huh? Wait, you get the document at your regulatory office. I had to take this off from. Oh, okay, moving on. Here we go. Look at the circuit. See the ball over there? See the board over there? So that tower with insulators on two sides, is that a dual circuit?
Are you referring to this?
Yes, one on the left.
This is a side view.
Side view?
This is one span here.
Okay.
And one span here. So this is just one circuit.
Okay, one circuit, got it.
Right.
So right to left, okay. So we get only 3 conductors, one circuit, no more. That's all, right? Okay, normally how many? On a regular 46 circuit, okay, do you folks run dual or single? Or is it just, what is your folks' infrastructure?
Are you talking about dual 46 or single 46?
Well, that's my question, Mike, okay.
We do both, but for this project to be
Okay.
repaired, it's a single 46 kV line extension
Okay,
consisting of 2 poles,
okay,
and then it transitions to underground
okay.
into the HONOLULU.
Now, is that voltage, as you say, 46 kV, 46,000 volt amps?
46,000 volts.
Right, okay, so that's what, is that the same voltage that 2 of the big customers down Campbell Industrial Park consumes?
Which 2 customers are you referring to?
You would know 46. There's only 2 big boys down Campbell that can consume 46. 3-phase, that would be Standard Oil, Chevron, and I don't know, name always changed. BHP Petroleum, Tesoro.
Tesoro takes service at 138.
Oh, 138 now. Okay, so only Chevron. So this energy will be directed only to Kahi, or will it be going past that?
So this line that we're going to interconnect to terminates at Kahi Power Plant.
Okay. So the answer is no, it's not. It's going to terminate 5. Okay. Mr. Chairman, my understanding that this is only about the conductors and the construction of the conductors, right? The 46 kVA circuit, right? So this project is based on the contingency if the solar farm gets an approval, or will they build it and the solar farm get does it get approved, this could be standing? Is it a contingency? Are you gonna start construction after they get approval on the solar farm, or you just go right ahead and do them? And then wait for the solar farm to get passed? What you supposed to do? Wait for the solar farm to get passed, then can start construction.
Wait, yes, let them answer the question.
All right.
So the timing that I stated in my testimony was based around the schedule for the approvals and then later the construction of the Kalanui solar farm project. So it's tied to that schedule of the solar farm itself. So it's tied, I'm sorry. So the schedule for the 2 poles and the overhead line work that I described earlier, the timing that I mentioned in my testimony is tied to the schedule for the construction of the solar farm facility, the Kalanui facility.
So the answer is yes. If you start construction on the facility, meaning that they got approved. That's what you're saying, correct? Okay. So you're not putting them first and then wait and after the, and it's an eyesore and they don't pass, right? You go wait.
Yeah, it's time to get with it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean financial. This, you tied to the land. You know. Yeah. What's the other one? Oh. Can you tell us what agency will be making the judgment on that solar farm?
So for the solar farm project itself, our understanding is that the project needs to obtain several city permits in order for it to get all of its approvals that it needs to build the facility. It needs to obtain a conditional use permit from the city. I believe because of the nature of the construction, it needs to obtain an NPDES stormwater permit. And then like a lot of construction, it needs to also obtain a city building permit as well. And all of those permits or approvals need to be obtained prior to that work commencing.
So the city is the agency that will be making the decision. Did you folks put in the application already?
The application for all of those permits are submitted and owned by the solar developer, not Hawaiian Electric. So you can speak to their representatives offline on the specifics of the timing.
Will the city permitting disclose that information if I went to the city?
I know like building permits are available online. I'm not sure about the other permits.
Okay. What's the other one?
What about HECO approval? HECO has to approve it.
Say again.
I have a solar contract and I'm waiting for HECO to approve it. So I'm wondering why HECO doesn't have to approve it.
Oh, this commercial ground. This is 46,000. No, but you know that's the part. That's the part we have to make a distinction because on your side it's residential. This side we're talking commercial, big guys, big money. As you know, the homeowners. Okay, I'll keep my comments to myself. Okay, so I try to make fair, just like him. Okay, so you made mention in regards to the application for this solar farm. You made mention something about approval for a permit for something with water. What was water again? What was that again?
It's called NPDES stormwater runoff.
Stormwater runoff. So, I can say it. One last one. Okay, if you could hide back to this. Sorry, he could still be. One last one. Stormwater runoff, okay? I want to convert the total acreage come out to almost 9 million square feet. So 9 million square feet is just one line. You add 2 inches to that line of 9 million square feet. You add 2 inches and you get, what happens if you get liquid dirt? What is another word for liquid dirt? Storm runoff. Come on, easy, brother. Mud. Okay, I'll end with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Quentin. Anyone else? Do we have another docket? Yes. Well, did you sign up? Can you sign up afterwards, after you speak? Are you talking about docket number? What docket was this?
In regards to the years.
308, 0308. You speaking on that? On the KB line?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, I'm currently in opposition.
What's your name?
My name is Cedric Gates. I'm the vice chair of the Waianae Neighborhood Board, and I also have a Kamaili alumni, class of 2006. Graduated student of the year. So I have great pride in Kamaili, and I have great pride in my community. I'm very active in the community, and I would just like to echo the concerns of my constituents that just came up about the meeting, of course, being at 3:30 and being 10 miles away from the project itself and not giving the people adequate amount of time to attend this meeting and voice their concerns. The other thing is about educating the neighboring community that this project is going to be impacting. I spoke to at least 10 people out there in the community who had no idea that this project was going on. And so if we have uninformed community residents, these things will continue to pass under the community's nose, which I know none of us want to happen, and I know that's why all of us are here today, and that's why I'm here today. And I respect all parties of this situation. I know that development, it's a part of, the capitalism system, and I'm aware of that. But again, this is it can pose a hazard to our community. And the thing about it is that there's better technology than what they're proposing here. So my question to HECO is this the best technology for this project? And if it isn't, why wasn't the other technology used, such as underground lines?
What's your testimony?
The end of my testimony would be, like other residents came up and said, is that this project will enable the whole overall solar project to go through, which hasn't been vetted by the community, which is very crucial. Everybody should have a voice inside of this project and should be respected like everyone asked for.
Were you here when we said we're going to have another hearing?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I just wanted to echo it so you guys can have it in you guys' minutes and you guys can, just justify what our concerns is. But at the end of the day, I think that education is key. So the community needs to be more educated on this. And that's what I'm here to testify on for all the constituents who are stuck in traffic and who can't make it because of other duties. I'm here to testify in for it.
Thank you. Alan.
For my life, my children, grandchildren, all done this lifetime. Got here late. I don't know what happened with all this different sharing and stuff like that. I don't even know who's who, yeah? But apparently some people from HECO, and we get some people from the community. But like Sergio was sharing, a lot of people not able to be here, yeah, because of time constraints. This is a time when people aren't going home from work. A lot of people, on top of that, a lot of people don't even know about this hearing. I just passed by one teacher. I was walking to the cafeteria and I said, hey, they have a hearing in the cafeteria. Well, I don't know, So, many of us aren't even aware that something is going on in our community that affects each and every one of us here. So what happens is, the people who need to know, don't know, or they can't be here. so their voices can't be heard. Yeah. And on top of that, most of us cannot expound, we cannot articulate to the level that we think needs to be communicated to the people who are in position, people who can make decisions that will affect each and every one of our lives. So sometimes we get intimidated by coming to a hearing and sharing our heart. But I think we just say what's on our heart, the truth. I think that should prevail. And the people should let their heart be made known. And if it's true that this hearing is for the good of the people, then let it be so. Let it be represented by the decision that is made by HECO, by every agency that's involved. For the simple people of Waianae, the simple people of Hawaii. Yeah. That's us. Everyday people. People who go to work, people who provide services for others. And I know there's things called progress. Yeah? But there's a way to do that in a proper way and the best way to do it. Right now, from what I understand, I really building that infrastructure, that 46 kV line, is not the best for us. For one thing, it imposes upon the land that the Kamaini land wants to build and extend the property. You know? And they've been told that they won't even have a small portion of it. The ramifications of this project is far greater than we can imagine even here right now. We don't know that. We don't know the outcome of all this. Like Bala was talking about, hey, what about all these guys with PV stuff? How do we affect that? Just the EMF itself. Do we have a study that shows what kind of EMF comes out? That kind of field that affects people in the area? We don't know all these things. You know? And when these things get passed because of businesses, because people who can do it because they're in position, they have money, they have the power to do that, then we the people of the land, we suffer because of that. I'm not going to give you guys an example, but look around you right now. As you drive into town, you can see all kinds of stuff going on that before wasn't here. It doesn't need to happen. And for the most part, a big part of it, the people are not for it. They're against it. So all I gotta say is, you know what? I pray that we make the right decisions. I pray that the decision be made to show us that we can have faith in this system. That's why we're here. If we never believe that we're going to make a difference, we're not going to be here. And many of the people right now are not here because they believe their voice will not going to make a difference. No count. Now, what should I do? They're going to do them anyway. And that's the kind of things that right now has to be proved by the decision that is made and by all the things that is done within the studies, do everything you can. If this was in your backyard, would you be as quick to approve it? Or would you say, no, I don't want that thing? Think about that. You know? If this project was right in your backyard, affecting you and your family and your neighborhood, and this hearing was here, would you be approving it? Would you be for it? Think about it, okay? Thank you.
Aloha. 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 I'm Mr. Heath is what they call me at Waianae Academy. I'm in my 10th year, so one of the old-timers. But I'm going to ask a question that has to do with the lines, so I hope I don't get feedback. I own a property that sits right here at the base of Hawaiian. You can almost see it. A farm I've had for about 7 years. I signed a contract with Ponchos to install some solar for me in 2014, and I'm waiting in limbo. I have a letter January. We've installed equipment and has confirmed a high level of energy from PV systems already installed on your circuit. Our technical review of your project determined an interconnection requirement study and possible upgrades to your circuit or project are needed before your system can be approved for safe connection to the grid. So, I guess my question stems off of Uncle's back there, in the sense that who has to approve NERIS, or I don't know who's coming in the building, but
who has to approve their system, right? You're saying city and county, and I understand I have to do city and county permits too, but I'm waiting for a HECO approval. So don't they have to get a HECO approval too?
For this document, we're talking about HONOLULU's project. The HONOLULU project and Hawaiian Electric, we have what's called a power purchase agreement. It's basically a contract for us to purchase the energy that's generated from the facility. As part of that work, we went through an interconnection requirement study, a technical review to see how and if we can make the interconnection work so that everything operates safely, the solar farm as well as the grid. That process has taken, over a year. It's gone through this process. We've gotten to the contract, and that contract is now before the commission, the Public Utilities Commission, to make a determination whether or not they approve of that contract. So that's the okay.
So I understand what a power purchase agreement is, and I looked at some of those as well. So I guess, and now my concern is, geez, my small little 6 kW system is in competition with a huge system. So no wonder the grid is saturated for homeowners like myself, because you've got huge farms out there that are saturating the system. So I guess, you know, they're going to get approvals. I'd like a stamp on mine too at some point. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, this concludes the hearing. You testified once.
But I didn't notice the chart. So this is for NextEra. Am I understanding they're gonna go through,
Please identify yourself.
Johnny May Perry, Waianae Neighborhood Board Chair. So my understanding from Mr. Wong's property, you're gonna go along Kapuni Street, then come up to Farrington Highway. This diagram has never been presented at the neighborhood board at all. At all. So, do we have such a lines right now? If so, where they're located? Those exhibit 3, do we currently have it on Oahu? And if so, where? Because I need visual, and this was never shown to us. So if you could give me, if there's a location of exhibit 3 currently. Thank you, Chair.
So exhibit 3 on the very right is just a typical diagram. We have a diagram of a pole, a utility pole with a single 46 kV circuit. We have many instances of poles, in this case a wood pole with a 46 kV circuit on it. There are throughout the island. There are many examples. We can provide you a specific photo if you're interested in one. I do want to note that under this proposed overhead line work that we're doing, it will only be that 146 kV line on the pole. What's more common in a community is a pole that is jointly owned by the electric utility and the telephone company. So you see a pole that has electric lines in the top, and then a bunch of lines lower down for like Hawaiian Telecom and Ocean and Cable and other telecommunications line. That's more common what you see, like what you see on Farrington Highway today. But in this case, it will be a little bit different because it will only have the single 46 kV circuit on it.
Thank you. You sign up? Oh, it's a question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So,
Hawaiian Electric,
yes,
on the KV line.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm a homeowner recently bought in the area, so similar along the lines to the question of the guy who's waiting for his solar approval. How will this project affect the capacity of the grid for homeowners in the area to install their own panels and be able to connect to the grid?
Okay, for residents who have an interest and desire to install a solar system on their roof, the circuit that runs through their neighborhood, like neighborhood here in Nanakuli and Waianae, they're 12,000 volt circuits, or 12 kV. The project, the HONOLULU project here, and the line to interconnect it is a completely different circuit. it's a circuit that's at 46,000 volts. It's a higher voltage circuit connected separately to Kahe power plant and not part of the circuits that serves individual neighborhood. So when we have an issue where a residential circuit has a lot of solar on it, you may have a 46 kV line in the area, in this case for Honolulu, they're not connected with each other. So they will not have a direct impact to each other from a circuit perspective, because they're different circuits.
Thank you. Anyone else on this docket? If not, moving on to the next docket. 2014-0354. Approval to construct the 46 kV overhead sub-transmission line extension in Waianae, Oahu, as part of the proposed Waianae Solar Project LLC 27.6 MW photovoltaic facility. This is the public hearing on HECO's request filed on December 4, 2014. The docket number 2014-0354 requesting the Commission's approval to construct a new section of 46 kV overhead sub-transmission line, which will be an extension of HECO's existing Kahe Permanente 46 kV overhead sub-transmission line located along Farrington Highway in Oahu, in the vicinity of Akau and Alahema streets. The purpose of the new extension is to interconnect HECO's electric system with Waianae's Solar Project LLC's proposed solar facility. We'll begin testimony with HECO, followed by the consumer advocate. With respect to this docket, since we've gone through a lot of testimony that did not necessarily relate to the purpose of this hearing, the chair is going to be a bit more strict and request that you confine your testimony to the KV line issue. Hawaiian Electric.
Thank you, Chair Iwase, Commissioner Kiva. Again, my name is Kofi Ching from Hawaiian Electric. In this docket, Hawaiian Electric is requesting, among other things, a commission determination that the proposed 46 kV line extension that is included as part of the company-owned interconnection facilities be constructed below the surface of the ground pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes 269-27.6 subpart A. Waianae Solar will furnish and install the 46 kV underground line extension, as well as a minimum amount of 46 kV overhead line necessary to transition from the new underground 46 kV line to the existing 46 kV overhead line on Barrington Highway. Prior to energization, the ownership of the 46 kV line extension will be transferred to Hawaiian Electric. The 46 kV line extension is necessary to interconnect Hawaiian Electric system with the Waianae Solar 27.6 megawatt solar farm facility. The estimated cost for the 46 kV line extension is approximately $2.4 million, which Waianae Solar has agreed to furnish, install, and pay for. I'll be using 6 exhibits to describe the proposed 46 kV line work. A copy of these exhibits is included in your handouts. These exhibits are also enlarged on poster boards to my right. Exhibits 1 and 2 on the left are maps showing the project site and the 46 kV line extension in the Waianae area. The 46 kV line extension consists of tapping into Hawaiian Electric's existing overhead Kahe Permanente 46 kV line along Farrington Highway and undergrounding the 46 kV line to Waianae Solar's facility located northeast of Alakau and Alahema streets. The total length of the 46 kV line is approximately 1,650 feet, of which 1,265 feet will be underground and approximately 385 feet will be overhead. The overhead 46 kV line extension involves the installation of 3 new 60-foot self-supporting steel poles, one of which will be installed on Waianae Solar's property, 2 electrical switches, and approximately 385 feet of 46 kV overhead conductors. Exhibits 3 and 4 in the middle show street side view renderings of the new pole installation. And exhibits 5 and 6 on the right are drawings of the typical pole configuration that will be used for the 46 kV line extension. Waianae Solar plans to commence construction of the 46 kV line extension work as early as January of 2016 and will be completed by June of 2016. In conclusion, should members of the public have any questions regarding this project, my staff and I will be available after the hearing to answer questions and provide further details on the project. Thank the Commission and the community for the opportunity to describe our proposed project. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Consumer Advocate, Deputy Mr. Ono.
Thank you, Chair Iwase, Commissioner Akipa. My name is Jeff Ono. I'm the Executive Director of the Division of Consumer Advocacy. I'm also known as the Consumer Advocate. The Consumer Advocate represents the interests of the consumers in public utility matters by advocating for reliable service at reasonable customer costs. I'm here this afternoon to listen to the community's comments regarding the application filed by Hawaiian Electric Company to the Public Utilities Commission, otherwise known as the Commission, for approval to construct a 46 kilovolt overhead sub-transmission line extension in Waianae as part of the proposed Waianae Solar project as a 27.6 megawatt photovoltaic facility. The Consumer Advocate will take an independent look at Hawaiian Electric's request for Commission approval for this project. To assist in our review and to help clarify the information provided in Hawaiian Electric's application, we will be filing information requests with HECO very shortly. After completing our review, we will file a statement of position with the Commission explaining our analysis and our recommendations. Once again, I encourage the public to come up and express their opinions to the Commission regarding this proposal. This will assist both the Consumer Advocate and the Commission in our work. As we move forward, I ask that you please feel free to contact the Consumer Advocate's office at any time to share your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. The contact information for the Division of Consumer Advocacy is P.O. Box 541, Honolulu 96809. You can email us at consumeradvocate@dcca.hawaii.gov. Our phone is 808-586-2800. That's 586-2800. And if you want to fax us anything, 808-586-2780. Thank you for this opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Mr. Ono. Joanne Westbrook.
Hello everyone again, and I want to thank everybody for coming up here and sharing their opinions. Bottom line is, we all live in this community, we all raise our kids here, regardless of what's going on. And I just want to thank everybody for being civil, instead of it was heated up for us, part of this meeting. Bottom line, people, we are all here to make a difference. There's people, I guess they bought property and they develop. We don't want development in our community. Nobody wants to. However, we need to think out of the box. We need to think about what are we going to benefit from people, right? Or from any of these businesses that's going to put this solar farm on. So that's what we need to do, really think. As far as I feel personally as a parent and as a working person in this community, I feel like we benefit more from the park versus the school. I mean, when you really think about it, people, when you really think about it, do you want a homeless shelter there? Is that what you want? you know? But I'm here to say, if it does happen or if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna fight for a park because I feel that this should be beneficial to the whole community, not just Hawaii. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Kelso.
Mr. Chairman, I will give you, I don't have pertinent testimony in regard to the 46, and it will just be a redundancy again. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph Ono.
Hello, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Kima. My name is Joseph Uno. I represent the board of directors of HONOLULU Corporation. We're the governing board of 3 charter schools, one of which is the Waianae Academy. We want to thank yours for working with us on the KV line. And when they first presented this project, they proposed an overhead line, and we appreciate the fact that they went through the trouble with HECO to underground that. Appreciate that, Mitch, and the work that you've done so far. But the school and the community really needs a little bit more. And I'm hoping that the commission will be able to urge Hawaiian Electric and yours to work out some form of agreement through maybe your power purchase, allowing yours to then afford some return, a better return, so that they can afford to give us a 5-acre buffer for our school. And I'd like to also recognize real quickly the members of Hawaiian Academy that have come out here today from Waianae. Please stand up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Lemaile Gutierrez. Lemaile Gutierrez.
She left already.
Okay, thank you. Lily Kabanita.
Hi, I'm Lily Kabina Tan. I'm the retired administrator from Waianae Elementary. I taught up at Nanakuli High School for 16 years. Before that, I graduated from Waianae High School, and this is my community. And I care about my community very much. This community is a lot of Hawaiians. If you know your research, the Hawaiians have the highest rate of all the diseases, okay? So when you come and put in all this kind of stuff, all this photovoltaic, all these landfills and things like that, the chances of the community, the Hawaiian community surviving, physically surviving, that is very minimal. So that is why I'm totally against this photovoltaic, this high voltage. This voltage that they're putting in is really, really high compared to the regular electrical. As I drove over here from Maili, I live in Maili, you look at all the telephone poles, all the poles that are up. This is going to add to that. We do not need any more lines, electrical lines, damaging us, damaging our bodies. If you just go online and look under photovoltaic, you'll find all this research how it's negatively impacting us. And then you put it next to an elementary school and you're killing the kids as well as the staff, okay? So, Kamaila Elementary is asking for a buffer of 5 acres. They damn well better get that buffer because you guys are killing them. You guys are killing them, okay? Seriously. The research is right here, okay? Another thing too is you need to give them a benefits package. You guys are making millions on this project. What is Hawaii getting? What is nothing. Nothing. Peanuts. Okay? You need to give them a benefits package so that they can get fresh fruits and vegetables and good vitamins so that they can survive this photovoltaic that you're gonna get rich from. Okay? So, honestly, you guys need to really rethink this and you need to get the whole community fighting because I'm telling you, photovoltaic is deadly to us. Okay? And economically, it is not good. You read the research, you are not making any money off of it. Yeah, your electric bill may be cheap, but you know what? To create that photovoltaic is very expensive. You're not making any money off of it. Read the research, people. Thank you.
Thank you. Benjamin Gates. Benjamin Gates. Benjamin Gates. Cedric Gates.
Hello, Chair. I would like to also yield my comment testimony for the next meeting.
Thank you. Paul Kepka.
All right, the mic's the right height.
Chair, Commissioner, thank you for allowing me to speak. Okay, so some quick song in the news last night, and my colleague, Mrs. Winslow.
You were on the news?
Yeah, you on the news. So we're trying to.
What are you on the news for?
We're on the news to talk about this Eurus energy project. It's going to impact our school community in Waianae. And I guess we're just trying to figure out the process and create some awareness around this issue. One thing that occurred to me, we had a meeting on January 28th with our community. We had about 150 parents came out to kind of learn a little about this project, and folks just don't really know about it. And so I think we decided to make sure the community knew about it. I received a text or a message, an email from one of my colleagues in Molokai. So I'm feeling like the word is out now, people are aware of this project. When Eurus first approached us about this project, they came.
Mr. Kepka, are you talking about the KV lines?
Yes, sir. I will get to
it. Please relate.
Okay. So when Eurus first came to us about a year and a half ago, one of the first things we addressed was the power lines. And they came into our community and we talked about it. And we said, hey, what's going to be best for kids? And that's when we put our foot down about having the lines underground. And I'm thankful that appears to be happening in front of our school. And I guess what I'm asking for is that we can continue that same discussion as we move forward with the other impacts of this project. Okay, so I want to thank yours for listening to our school community about the impact of the power lines that would have been running right through our campus, right through the perimeter of it. And we'd like to continue that. And I would like to encourage the PUC to continue that dialogue. I'd also like to ask HECO, hey, one of their concerns from Eurus is that the PPA amount keeps reducing. And that's why they cannot support our school and our community. So maybe, because it's impacting 1,000 students and 140 staff, a lot of which don't even know what's happening, maybe HECO, I'm putting on my personal hat, I pay a lot for electric. Maybe we could pass some of that on to you folks to help our kids. We're talking about 30 megawatts of power. Okay, thankfully it's going to be underground in front of our school, we hope, with your approval. But maybe we can, let's give them a break on their PPA so that they can help our kids. And I want to encourage Eurus Energy, and I'd like to ask PUC if they could please encourage Eurus to continue to work with Kamaile Academy. When I asked them the last time, they said they could not help us because they can't afford it. Well, I don't know. But our school is going through a budget crunch right now. And we're making decisions about our kids, about our teachers. And I want to thank my teachers. I just want on the record because we had 20 Kamaile Academy staff here today to support us. Okay? And forgive me, Chair and Commissioner, we're not really sure about the process. I'm an educator. I went to University of Hawaii, Manoa. I'm an educator. Okay? I don't know the process for this type of approval. This is kind of new stuff, this solar stuff, right? We're not really sure how it works. And my job is to help my teachers and to help my kids. And I would appreciate some guidance on how our voices can be heard. What is the process? A gentleman showed me something he pulled off of the DPP, but I mean, you know, please, for our kids, we gotta work together here. This is 30 years of the next generation of children. My children are coming to Kamaile. Okay, and thank you again for considering these power lines underground. I think that's a good faith. Okay, but let's continue. Let's not stop here. Let's continue that Hono dialogue that yours initiated with Kamaile.
Thank you, thank you. Vicky Naibu. Vicky Naibu.
Thank you, Chair. You know, I went on Eurus's website to look up so I can do a little bit of research, you know, because I don't know anything about this island. I live right down on Hammer Street, so now I'm seeing the impact on my KP and all the people that live in that whole Ulubi subdivision, because it does encompass all of our homes there as well as Kamaile Academy. And the more I hear, I'm hearing, oh, wait a minute, that farm, when you folks are going to make the lines that will generate the electricity to go back to Pine Power Plant, is that how it works? And then what do you do with the energy? You sell it back to us in our community cheap?
It goes throughout the grid.
Throughout the grid, or the grid is our community, where it's coming from?
Every community, it goes everywhere.
So this whole side?
The whole
island. So our little, the lines, the energy that's generated from that farm, the whole island's going to have discounted electric bills. Is that what you're saying? No. I went online and I saw properties. Eurus, you folks are actually into wind farms, started out. Is that correct? So I'm looking at the Northern American because you folks actually are owned by Toyota in Japan, right? And Japanese electric company. Now you have in Europe, you have Northern America, and you have Japan. So I was looking at the wind farms in California, and one thing I noticed, there is vast land surrounding the wind farms. There's no residential area. I don't see schools. That sounds a little safer to me, I think. Anybody agree? No, not safer. What about the school? I don't think so. I disagree with the lines. I disagree with the whole project, but the lines, if you're going to put them up, underground.
Thank you. Luella Leonardo.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Here, thank you. I don't have a prepared speech. Do we have the time to prepare our speech? I don't have the details. Although we teach our children every day to tighten up their arguments and their presentation, I don't have any of that right now. And right now, I don't even want to yield what I have to say tonight for another time. Because by then, that other time, this is going to grow even deeper and wider. Because you're going to take the information we are giving you tonight, and you're going to make your arguments a lot more stronger. I don't even want these lines in Waianae. Why? Because I don't want outsiders to use our children to fill their pockets. That's the bottom line here. Our children are not your cash crops. Waianae is not your cash crop. We cannot save the world in the context of the world. We cannot. We aloha the people in the world, but we cannot save the world in their capitalistic thinking. We can go heart to heart, but we cannot fill the banker's pocket and the people who benefit from the bankers. I know I'm not it. I don't know about all of you. We just can't go there. Waianae, this is Waianae. My mokuhauhau, which is my genealogy, is not from Waianae, just to give you some sense of who I am. I'm actually from Waianae, over 200 years. Okay? But I live right down the street, Waianae Hawaiian Homestead. And I'm a moku person, okay? This is the ahua of Nanikuli. When you follow protocol, for us to, from Waianae to come to Nanikuli, we have to ask permission. And I thank you for the permission for being here, those of you who are from Nanikuli. Okay, Waianae Valley is in dire strait right now. We need your aloha. We need your thinking skills, and we need other people, not just ourselves. We need everyone here to be thinking. Are we thinking about our children? Ha'ole. Are we thinking about whether when we become 80 and 90 years old, hopefully, that we're going to be taken care of, or we can take care of ourselves? That's what we're deciding tonight. We're not deciding about that photograph there and that photograph and that one over there, or that exhibit 1 and that exhibit 6 and 5, Mr. Iwasi. We are deciding whether we're going to, in our last days, be healthy. I mean, we are looking at our children not sponging all the contaminants in our community. And Mr. Iwasi, I have begged, on my knees. I did a lot of crying. After 2001, we had meetings, we're still having meetings with the military. We're just spinning around, chasing our tails with the military. Tad Davis, who's Tad Davis? Tad Davis came to Nanikuli, by the way. We had meetings with Tad Davis. Who's Tad Davis? Tad Davis is from the Pentagon. Okay? Tad Davis has the money, the $52 billion for Department of Energy. He came here. We battled with Tad Davis. Us, Nanikuli, right now. What we battled about to stop the bombing. That would happen? No. That would happen? No. And we're still arguing about stopping the bombing because our children are SpongeBobs for the contaminants. That's what we're deciding tonight. Our children are going to be the SpongeBobs of whatever we don't know that's going to happen to our Aina. Every time the federal government comes down here to Waianae, we lose the battle. But we show up, we argue, we beg, we cry, and they still not listening to us. Did they listen to us for the PPT? Did they listen to us for this Waimanalo dove site? Did they listen to us in Makua? Did they listen to us off Mighty? With our Aina, one street, 6 children with leukemia. Why is that? And they have to live with the power lines right behind them that the military has for their communication. Mr. Iwasi, this is our only. You gotta, at one time in your career, hear us. I don't know where else to go. This is so bad for our children. This is asking us to put this power line up so that we can go feed the world. This isn't about feeding us, our children. This is about feeding HECO, so HECO can be bought by Netflix. This is about Netflix. How are we battle Netflix? Department of Energy, do you know what it's like for us to battle with Gregory Jacob, the head of the Department of Energy? Ask Waianae people, we have to go battle with him. Okay? We have to go battle with Gregory Jacob. On a docket. I got a docket with Gregory Jacob.
Okay, could you relate back to the
Atomic Energy Commission. I have a docket with the Atomic Energy Commission. I went before Judge Perez. I went before Judge Kennedy. All because of the contaminants in our community, begging them to stop the bombing so that our children do not soak up the contaminants. You know we lost. And so I'm here tonight trying to address this aerial photo. And by the way, I have a BA in cartography, remote sensing, GIS. And I'm supposed to be looking at this aerial. I'm supposed to be looking at it objectively. And I'm unable to do that. But then, tomorrow, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to Waianae Intermediate, but I'm going to get in front of my class, and I'm going to teach how to make an argument and an objectivity, and be objective, and come out with summaries. How am I going to do that tomorrow? How am I consciously going to be looking at all our children in our class, in my classroom tomorrow, and ask them, oh, you got to tighten up your essay. How do you meet the experience, humanity, and you deal with this contaminants? How do you do that? I don't know, except to come here tonight, do what I've been doing since 2001, stand up here with this ice cream cone in my hand, speak to the audience, look at people here, and probably you coming to Waianae for the first time, and then you can go back and tell everybody, oh, you guys been to Waianae because you guys went to Honolulu. Let me tell you, this is a moku, okay? I walked to Kaena, take my kids to Kaena Point. You should try walking to Kaena. At my age, I get up in the morning, I go from the bottom, and I walk all the way up to the tallest mountain, Mount Ka'ala. That's a long hike. I get up on Sundays, I paddle out to the 1 mile, and I smell the stinky sewer all over. I look at the ocean, there's sewage all over our ocean. And I paddle back to shoreline, where the sewage is going. And I look at all the babies, all in the water, swimming, taking in all that sewer, okay? And then, when I'm done work, I go to Kahia Point, and I walk on the beach, and I pray. I pray, and I pick up hookah shells, and I pray for our kids. So, I am saying to you, no, no, no. Stop this insanity. Tell Tad Davis, go take his $52 billion and go take it somewhere else in the world. We don't need it in Hawaii. We're going to get off our oil. I have no idea how we're going to do it. But the commitment is there, okay? HECO wants to make money for their constituents. HECO was also part of the overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom. So they're doing the same. That's their running pattern. That's their running pattern, is to overthrow us. And that's how I feel. We're being overthrown again and again and again. There's more to say, but I will stop right here. And you're showing me something there. You're next. Okay, I cannot be specific tonight, but hopefully I can do my homework and do that. Okay? Mahalo, mahalo, and mahalo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. This is the first time I'm seeing a complete drawing of this US project. In the future, you know, I think everybody in this room received Hawaiian Electric telephone bill. So something as important like this should be in the bill as an insert. No excuse. It needs to be inserted in all our bills. Mr. Ono, you know, Reem Harimoto used to be with the Board of Education. He's now a senator. And years ago, the big thing was telecommunication, cell phones. And at one meeting, he said that the telecommunication tower need to be X amount of feet away from the school. I don't know what the rules and regs about the transmission lines for solar farms. On behalf of the Waianae Coast Neighborhood Board, we do not support US project because they have not come back to us. And I think the best thing, Mr. Ono, is they follow the same route as the previous docket. So nothing should be overhead unless it's on Farrington Highway. Otherwise, every inch of the line should be underground or following the same path as the previous docket. Mr. Wasi, thank you for giving us another opportunity in the future. And thank you for coming to our community. All we ask is fairness. That's all we ask. And like I said to your staff on the phone, if this project was in the back of your yard, would you want the meeting somewhere else? That's all we're asking. Don't be afraid, right, Kurt? You were with us a long time. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Winslow.
Aloha. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Chair and Commissioner, and also HECO. I want to reserve my testimony for the next time we meet, but before I do, I want to thank Lily for being here as a former administrator at Kamaili Academy, and thank you for letting me volunteer in 2002 at that time. And I want to thank my staff for being here also to support, and the ones who came up to testify. I would like to offer Kamaili Academy for the next meeting, because I really believe that the full community should be here, and not just the next meeting. So I'm going to give you a card so you can contact me, or staff can contact me so we can schedule it.
Aloha. Thank you, Commissioner, Chair. Aloha, HECO. Thank you. And Juris. Hi. So I'm not going to repeat what I talked about before. I've got my Kamaili shirt on this time, so I kind of want to go back to the process though, because I guess if we're talking about the power lines, which means we're kind of in the same situation with the other ones, so that initial approvals are through, and now we're waiting for DBP approvals to kind of keep the project moving forward. So, I mean, I guess I'm just wondering if, you know, HECO, were you aware of the negotiations and kind of what happened in between the school and yours, or had started to happen? I feel like there was some good faith there. I mean, I think, you know, I think we recognize that Hawaii is in a situation where we're pushing the clean energy initiative. We're trying to get off of oil. Solar farms are one of those keys. You know, I want to put solar on my property. I think it's something that's going to be a positive. But, you know, again, the school has those needs and we're so cramped. So, you know, we want to be good neighbors all the way around on both sides. The school wants to be good neighbors. You guys want to be good neighbors. Let's work together. Let's make something happen. And, you know, HECO and the commission, you know, whatever we can do to kind of facilitate all of that all the way around. I mean, I don't know, my solar is going up on the roof, maybe we could somehow extend the school campus and still have that be covered with solar that's part of the project. I mean, you know, and maybe a learning center where kids learn about solar, and it could be a first thing in the nation, or in the state at least, where people can really get an idea. I know there's got to be creative ways to solve it. I know Kamaile wants to be, you know, part of the solution. I hope you're on board and want to be part of the solution, and HECO and Commission, you know, appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else testify? Did you sign that?
Yes, sir.
You did?
Yes.
Where is it?
Honolulu. Yeah, just like a PS. It's not really in regards to the power line, but it's still connected to the project. Nobody seems to be talking about it. But as Hawaiians, you know, we have a spiritual connection to the island. And I just recently found out that there's some grabbing in some of the land that has already been cleared, mouth of Kamaile Academy. My understanding, and from talking to the other rest of my family, Pomana, we kupuka and apparently, I guess PUC or HECO, I don't know the protocol in our moku Waianae, but it would be out of respect to come and speak to the lineal descendants of Waianae moku. And we've been here like forever, for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we pretty much know the community. And it just came to my attention from one of my family members, Mr. Glenn Kila, former CEO for Kamaile Academy, that there were some historical sites that probably got destroyed by, you know, I'm definitely offended by this. Not talking to the families and all that, finding out the history of our moku and our people and our traditions of our culture. And I think it would be respectful to the community as well as the families, the lineal descendants from Waianae, to create and have dialogue with the families before you guys go in and do any kind of work in our community, because you don't know the area, you don't know the history. More and more I see projects going by, and a lot of our sacred sites, our heiaus, our ahus, are all being destroyed just for the sake of making money. And nothing's coming back to our community. No respect is given to our pupunas, our ancestors came before us. These sites are sacred to us. The land is sacred to us. And I don't know if you guys realize that in America, we got Arizona, you got a lot of land you guys can develop. Hawaii, the land is very limited. We're island people, and the land is very precious and very limited resources that we have to use wisely. And I cannot really see putting panels all over the land where we can grow food for our people, expand the community for community needs, education for our kids in our community. Because Waianae is still ever growing. And it's, I see in Waianae from when we used to call Waianae the sticks. Where I live, Pukai Bay Road, that was actually a main road back in the day, and it was right along the train tracks. And Farrington Highway is a new addition. Even so, Makua, you know, all that roads is all new. You guys don't know this community like we do. So we'd appreciate it if you guys would contact the families, and if you like, I can leave my email so we can create dialogue and work in harmony. I wanted to comment too that if you folks had archaeologists or any culture monitor on this project when you guys doing the grubbing, any kind of historical information, I think that would be needed, something you guys should really look into. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? We'll take a short recess.
Thank you.
Mr. Heath, was it Heath? Yeah. Anyone else to testify?
So once again, we just, as I was listening to some of the testimonies.
Could you please take your name?
Oh yeah, Alan Talbert. Alan Talbert.
Talbert.
Yeah, resident of HONOLULU. My grandchildren go to Kamaili, and my kids have attended Kamaili Elementary. But just wanted to reiterate once again that, you know, this project will be about a little under 30 megawatts. Is that what it is? 30 megawatts. And you know, this 30 megawatt plant could be built someplace else, yeah. Right? Could be built someplace else. We have many other places, especially in the industrial areas, yeah. Like Campbell, like that. In fact, they have plants in Campbell. Yeah. But anyhow, if this project does go forward and is built, see, the thing is, I'm talking from basically ignorance. I don't even know where this project is. It's the first I've basically heard about it. I don't even have a docket. I have no information other than an email that I got off of Facebook, you know, a tag. But if this project goes forward, basically it'll be a foot in the door to start other projects that farm like other things, that solar farm, like other farms, things are meant to grow, yeah. So from 30 megawatts, it may develop into 50 to 60 megawatts. So these are things that we have to keep in mind, you know? The ramifications of all the results of building this farm.
Mr. Talbot, yes. Could you relate it to the KV lines, not the farm? We're not approving the farm.
Okay, before I go on, I came here late. Is there going to be another hearing?
Yes.
Relating to all the things we covered once again?
No. Let me explain what I said in the beginning. PUC's jurisdiction is solely over. Public hearing is required, and the PUC has to act where there is a proposed KV line overhead. If it was in the ground, we wouldn't be here today. Overhead. We are not involved with the approval or disapproval of any solar facility. So the solar farms, that's not for the PUC. As was explained by the Hawaiian Electric representative, these are mostly city permits that may be required. So the farm itself, the construction, that's not us.
Okay, basically just that if it's...
Just the KV lines.
The KV line. Okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And like I said, some of us came late. There's people who cannot make it because of traffic, because of work, other obligations, but it's very, it's very disconcerting to see that something that could impact the community so greatly is attended by so few of percentage of people here. How many of you guys live in Waianae? Okay. That is a small percentage of people who actually live out here in Waianae. We only hear because we try to make a statement, either for or against it. But the thing is that there's so many other people that are not here because of different obligations or whatever, but I'm glad that there's going to be another hearing that we can at least prepare for, But like I shared earlier, the result of this, if it does go through, that farm, it'll be just something else that we have to deal with later on throughout the years. It's going to be very hard to have it undone. Once it's built, it's kind of like the rail, Once it starts going, it's going to be hard to say, you know what, we changed our mind, we're not going to do it. And years down the line, we're going to have to live with the results of it. So that's why we ask that, keep in mind for the community, for the people, even for our sisters who came up here and shared their heart and brothers, but that even the infrastructure itself, this KV line, the things that it will impose upon health-wise to the community. And that's why I say 30 megawatts in the system is how much? Not really that much, right? So if you don't build it here, you build it somewhere else, that'll be great. But if you do build it here and you have that infrastructure here in place, then once it's built, all of us here, our families, children, grandchildren, are going to be impacted for the rest of our lives. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, this concludes the hearing on both dockets. Let me repeat, we will hold a second public hearing.
I wonder if I could ask a question to HECO. Kind of stand up, I got blocked. I just want to ask a quick question to HECO.
Go ahead.
So my understanding is the solid red is above ground.
Correct.
And
Please identify yourself.
My name is Edwin Ibarra. This mic is on. Hello, Edwin Ibarra. So the solid red is above ground, right? And then the dotted line is underground and it can become above ground also. Yeah. So my question is, did you guys do any cultural surveys in the area of historic sites or HELs?
Thank you. So as I mentioned in my testimony, this line extension, both the overhead and underground portion, will actually be constructed and built by URIS, the solar farm developer. A portion of it will be turned over to Hawaiian Electric before energization, but the design, permitting, and construction is actually done by URIS, not by Hawaiian Electric. I would defer the question to them after this hearing is concluded. You can ask a specific question about that.
Yeah, just quick. The reason why I brought that up is if you go underground, a lot of infrastructure today is above ground, and a lot of reason why people do not want to go up underground, especially in sites like these, you come across hails, burials, EV bones, all construction has to stop. And you have to bring in archaeologists and police. It could be a recent murder. And I just was wondering if that was the objective of avoiding going above ground rather than under the whole 9 yards. So I guess concerning you, Uris, maybe you guys can go look further into the culture. I just was in McAllister's sites of Oahu, and there are, you can look up that book, there are reported hails in this area that was been dated back to 18 whatever. But I mean, you just do a little research and find out more about the people and more about the land and the culture, and make a educated solution. Don't just throw something out there and expect it, don't just throw the seed on the ground and expect it to grow. You have to nurture it, plant it, toil the soil. So yeah, maybe just do more research on the contents. Yeah. You need this? Oh, after. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You defer.
No, I said I wanted to ask questions after. I didn't want to make a testimony.
Okay.
3 questions, real quick. First and foremost, Delaware LLC, ownership on this project also?
I'll have to ask, you have to defer that question to yours of the project.
Delaware LLC, ownership on this project? Okay, back to HECO. In the docket regarding cost to connect. Now, I'm not sure about cost to connect, meaning is that tap or the whole project to connect? A figure of $2,185,027. Is that for the whole project or just to make taps?
So as I mentioned in my testimony,
yes,
the estimated cost to connect the Hawaiian Electric system to the solar farm is about $2.4 million. And that's just for the work to connect the solar farm to the Hawaiian Electric system.
To connect the solar farm to the Hawaiian, so that's making taps, you're saying?
Well, yeah, it's to build, it's not just for the taps, but it's for the line all the way.
Yeah, I just wanted clarification. I'm not trying to be anal about it, because when I see cost to connect, I think of the word tap. Tap is connection. Okay, that's clear. In regards to this project, under 46, under what category of the work order would this be? Would it be new construction, insurance claim, or capital improvement? How your line crew is going to do the work order? Is this money coming out of HECO or insurance or new construction customer?
Let me use the mic. Sure. So as I mentioned in my testimony, unlike maybe a traditional overhead line project or construction project, this line, the overhead and underground portion, will be designed and constructed and paid for by Eurus, the solar developer, not Hawaiian Electric. A portion of the line will be turned over to Hawaiian Electric prior to energization.
And last, Mr. Chin, if I have been short or impatient with you, I apologize. I want to leave you with good energy. Okay? Aloha.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, to conclude the hearing on both dockets, let me repeat, we will be scheduling a second hearing on both dockets. We have to go through a process. I would hope, well, first of all, let me drop that. The notice of hearing that will be issued is a notice that is issued in every other public hearing. So the information, if one does not get that information, one would hope that after today, those who are here asking for the Waianae hearing will send the word out. Second, that when you send the word out, you make it clear, if you can, that we are not talking about the solar facility. That would be unfair to those who testify to have that misinformation. This is about the kV line, 46 kV line for each of those projects. You can testify on those, and we will have a hearing at some point in the future. Again, the timeline will be based upon the law that we have to follow. Okay? Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Hawaiian Electric. Thank you, community, and Waianae Elementary School that was sort of well represented. Thank you all very much.